So yeah. Yep. So at that point, it was just like, gotta. So the divorce went through. That summer, we went out in August, and then by September, okay, going back with the money thing, I don't remember when the first 2 times she borrowed, but she needed money, and I had all this money, and she goes, I needed X amount, it's $2,500 to get out of one problem. And I was like, okay. And then she needed another $2,500 to get out of another problem. And I said, okay. And here I'm taking a little chisel work to my retirement fund from CTL and having to wait 2 weeks or 4 weeks for the paperwork. And I basically borrowed against myself, is the way it was explained. So I wasn't really taking away from the retirement, but I was borrowing of mine. So I kind of justified where I'm not giving her the money. I'm just borrowing it until she gets this job that she says she's destined to get because she has the resume that no one else on the planet has. And I'm thinking she's smart. She's determined. And then she's going to win this lawsuit and that's going to be enough money for everything. And I didn't pay for the attorneys, but I don't know if I have no idea what this person said was true or not, but she had this business plan of I Fly Everywhere, IFE, and then there's the AIA, IFE, and I Fly Everywhere. One of the things I always wanted to do was be on the ground base of some organization, and I kind of got that fulfilled at CTL, because CTL, even though the group had been there for, since the inception with PCA, CTL became the wholly owned subsidiary of PCA, Portland Cement Association. That was the spin-off consulting group for the cement industry. So, but Ray was ground floor. Because I was living, did I tell where I was living? Let's do that real quick. Hold on. We'll spin out, but from I finally moved out of Evanston and Yesterday's, because Yesterday's sold, and I had to move out. They weren't renewing my lease because new owners or tenants hadn't moved in or taken. And so I moved to Oak Park and getting a lay of the land. Well, that gave it away. Oh, and then, okay. So the move from Evanston, I was in the back of a pickup truck from the movers because I needed my couch. I got my couch, what else? Chair, computer, table. Heidi and Jeff gave me this old workbench that was just perfect. But we got that. What else? I had the futon. But then all those boxes. And I moved down to Oak Park. But when I grabbed all the stuff from the house, it was August. Help the movers. I said, let's stop somewhere and get you guys lunch. And I didn't have a car to drive anywhere. So, and there were 3 of them. And so I rode in the back of the truck. It was the longest, but I was crying back there. Gotta be honest. I was all weepy because, it was really sinking in that, the divorce was final and this was over and all the work with it. I mean, it really sets in. You always, every divorce starts out, I can't take this anymore, and I can't, blah, 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 blah. But the end of the bookend to that is when you realize it's over. There's no going back. And I'll be lying if I said that I didn't have moments where I regretted, but that's in Oak Park. I got the major regrets of things. I could do better. I could have done better. But that little truck ride, however those guys, I think they went, did one of those, we got to burn some energy. Because it seemed like forever. Then we finally stopped. I go, oh, we're finally here. It's McDonald's parking lot. It's probably up in Evanston still. But, so I paid for their lunch. No, I don't want anything. Thank you. I'm dehydrated. I know I'm not drinking water or anything because that's just the way it was. It's just self-abuse. got down here and they unloaded everything into the garden apartment, so let's go there. So it was on Marion, North Marion. We can go street level. I'll cut all this out. Appease me. Right there. No. There. It's like, oh, I was in the garden apartment, and I go, no, I remember that. It's like, yeah, that. There's that, because I know that little walkway. So, yeah, I was in the garden apartment here. That was some gal, Carolyn or something, and I don't know anything beyond that. In fact, she had both of these, and I just had the basement. How much was that? $425? $475? $575? $625? I don't know. So $625 sounds right. And they were kind of a weird. The owners or the landlords were highly conspicuous but not just me. I mean, I probably gave them material to be conspicuous, but I'll tell the story where they got kind of freaky on me for no reason and stuff. But so I was down here, and my big joke was, I'm living in a garden apartment up in Oak Park, and I'm either one step closer to hell or working my way out from, the ground up. That was my little ha ha ha. I remember this tree like that. And what was that? So that's where I was. And I've already given it away, but it just so happened the ray of death was right down the block. Right there. And you think, how far down the block? Let's just say she is on the other side of the tracks. And for the life of me, Linda. Oh, thank you. I woke up and was like, how can I not remember Linda's name? And we'll get to Linda in a second. But no, not Linda like Ray Linda. Linda was just my savior as far as a friend who, I never talk about much to people, but she knew Ray, and so I got edified about Ray from Linda. And Linda worked at a salon. She was a member of Columbia Yacht Club, and she ended up marrying Jerry, who was on the race committee that Larry hated, but Jerry was a great guy, and but then Larry got sick, and he's no longer with us. But Linda was so much fun. She just, these women that have had an extraordinary, difficult life, but then at age 40 they get reborn, not reborn in the Christian sense, but just reborn where they had an abusive husband, they had a terrible child, they had all these horrible things, but they get rejuvenated. And at 40, she reinvented herself and got a salon, and, she worked at the salon, she didn't own it, but reinvented herself and became just this wild, happy chick grandmother that was super cool. But that was Linda. She loved Russell Crowe. And the Rolling Stones. So, no, it wasn't Born Again. Wasn't born away that way, but probably the new agey reborn. But it was good. This is what she needed, because she had a terrible marriage and stuff. But we went out, kind of drinking type things, but she's the one that told me about Ray. She said one day Ray was the Jewel that I went to had been right here. So I'd walk to Jewel. That was my exercise. She said one day Ray had this Skylark convertible, this red piece of crap, but she thought she was hot stuff. She thought she was Barbie driving around town. And I guess one day leaving this Jewel parking lot, Linda was walking across. Ray about ran her over in one of her moods. And according to Linda, said, there's no way she could not have looked me in the eye and known who it was. Because those guys knew each other. In fact, they might have been the ones that I knew Linda kind of from the yacht club, but might have been feeding scoop to Ray that here's this guy type thing. I don't know. I wouldn't hold it against Linda. She had, I hope she's doing well now. She had some good years with Jerry. I know she was happy then. Anyway. But yeah, so that was another piece of the big puzzle that I knew about it. I can't go back to that picture right yet. I got another pot of coffee. We'll see how strong I get. But yep, Ray was on the other side of the tracks. South. Anyway. So the money thing came up, and then it was $5,000, and now we're dating. And it was $5,000, but I said, my words were, look, at this point, you either have a banker or you have a boyfriend. You choose. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. This is for us. Don't say that. No, you want a banker or a boyfriend. And the thing that set things off was she kept this extraordinary life of a 3-bedroom apartment. Let's go look at that. Maybe it was only 2-bedroom. 3 makes it sound better. It was probably only a 2. But it was a big apartment, all the first floor. She had to keep flying to keep her pilot's license active, so that'd be $85 every couple weeks to rent gas and fly. She had to play golf for social reasons, and she had a cleaning lady. If I can find her letter, she wrote this 10-page letter when I said, I can't do this. She wrote this weepy 10-page letter of 10-page letters has a theme here. But it wasn't funny. Hers was not funny. But she had the page and a half of, I did this, I gave this up. But it was, I gave up a cleaning lady, I gave up playing golf, I gave up. And the thing that I was alluding to was up in Wisconsin. She would drive up every week in the summer for band practice. That she played a clarinet or a flute. I don't care. It was a wind instrument. And it was a, petite little thing. But she had to drive up to Milwaukee. So what is she driving? Not her little piece of crap, because that broke down. She borrowed my Blazer. Because I still can't drive, and I've got, a backlog of offenses going on now. Probably going back to Ann Arbor with busted out taillights and emissions testing. Oh, I racked them up. And then throw on top DUIs and stuff. So anyway, so she got the Blazer, and she's running it up to Milwaukee. The Blazer's starting to look a little bit like me. Just a little bit run down, and lights are going off, but I see her getting this thing and drive around. She tears out, and I'm like, you gotta go a little bit easy on this thing, and the door panels are starting to rot out. And like, how prophetic is that? This vehicle, but I kind of dinked it a couple times. But anyway, and we'll get. She starts abusing this, and then she invites me to go up to her practice, and I can play kettle drums or something. So we go up, and she's flying. One of the things I told her, don't just keep it under 70, because it's getting to be old, and I can't afford to get this thing fixed up. We get in the car, and we're flying up to Milwaukee. She's doing 80 easy, and it's starting to bug me. And I said, can you kind of slow down? And she's like, okay, sorry. But, 2 minutes later, she's speeding up to 80, and then I had to keep doing that, and she goes, you know what, if you're going to get on me, then just, and then she knew how to work me. She's exactly like Alan, because what was annoying me became my problem, because it shouldn't be annoying me that she's driving that fast. Oh, God. So, but on that ride up there, the one that I went that weekend, on the way up, she goes, and I told her about my grandmother's trust at this point. Because, are you sure you should give me all this money? Don't worry, I'm fine, and all this. And she found out about my grandmother's trust. And she said, do you think we could borrow $25,000 from that trust? And that's when it and did. No more, no more. Because I said, you want a banker or not? And she goes, no, you're misunderstanding me. I didn't say go do it. I said, would you consider? And she backpedaled faster than anything in my life. I don't know what that meant, but it was just like backpedaling. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yes, he did. And that was it. That was it. We went to this little band thing, and I was so uncomfortable. She's introducing me, and she knew how upset I was. Oh, good grief. And that was it. That was done. That was the end of August. Or probably September. Because the band practice was a thing that they did for a Thanksgiving Day parade. That I, honestly can't remember. I think I went to one the year before. That could have been something with her car, too. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, she was in a parade, and I probably stood in the thing going, woo, that's going to be my girlfriend, woo. And when she asked about that 25 grand, done. And her place was always 90 degrees, and staying there was just so uncomfortable, and like, So we became platonic once again, because money or bank. And when she got this last $5,000 from me, she did one of those like Jane did. She'd come back shopping and she'd have 10 that's exaggerated. She'd have 5 packages. And then the last one, she could see how upset I was pulling out all these things she bought when I'm worried about money and surgeries and all this. And I'll say that I over-worried on things because I like to know I don't know that God's going to take care of me yet. I still don't have that figured out. I have to take care of myself and screw up on the way. I'll admit I over-worried on money and made a bigger deal than I should have. But they could have been more respectful too of my concerns. We'll leave it at that. We'll say it 50-50. Everything's 50-50. I was 50 wrong, she was 50 right. So, anyway, when Ray asked about the money, and I gave her the $5,000, with the packages. So she'd come back with 5 packages after shopping and see how upset I was. But she goes, look what I got you. And then she'd get me something that, 1, I didn't need. It was a guilt gift. And 3, it was probably $12 pair of gloves that I'd never wear. But the thing is, she was thinking of me. And then I had to be such a sourpuss because I had a frumpy face because this gift wasn't what I really wanted. No. But Ray did this with the last $5,000. What do we do when she gets the $5,000? She buys a new computer. And what was wrong with, I don't know where they are now, but she had Windows 3. She had to get Windows 4. And it was as silly as, it was probably Windows 3 improved. Because she had a computer that was less than a year and a half old. But then it was an excuse to download all of her old files. And that's another 3 weeks of her not finding a job and all this. So, God, that was bad. But she bought the computer, and then she takes me out to dinner to a Benihana's. So immediately, as soon as she gets this money, she's spending it on stuff that I wouldn't even spend it on. And I'm living in this little it's not a dump, but it's okay. And then now I'm remembering all these other little things. Wherever I was there, she was there. So I quit, walking down, staying, and coming back, and stopped all that. Okay. The reason I'm also here, let's finish up Ray. So she asked for the money, it's like, that's it. No. And then she got freaky on me, but we're not going to do that yet. Hold on. We're not going to tell the freaky story. So it's like, well, gee, Brian, what are you doing up here when you're not dating Ray? You don't have a job, but you're racing. So we get that, but you're saying you're still banged up. So I guess I get that. So what else are you doing to keep occupied? I'm glad you asked. So when I was up here, entertainment for one, table for one, yes, and we'd like to order. Anyway, so when I was here, I was volunteering down at it was done. Done. had my little fun, had my little carnal things. Repent! Oh, with a vengeance. Hell hath no fury. And so I was volunteering down at the Field Museum for Sue. We'll kind of touch on that, but that's all you really need to know. And then down here, so I have to get my driver's license restored. And you find out that that's just going to be swimming upstream to spawn, which I'm a male salmon, that it's never going to happen. But I have to go upstream, and it's just never going to work. But I at least have to pretend to myself that I'm drinking is under control. And right down the street was... I got put on pause. I'll get there. Oh, I got to play it. This is the happiest song Springsteen Live ever does. You can't hear it, but we'll do a song for it. Anyway, so Linda worked here, and as it turned out, I went to all these other DUI places that are miles away, and 2-hour train rides and transfers. Right down the street, I'm down here. Devil with the blue dress. That's why I like it so much. Oh, and then the sailing ball. I gotta tell that story, but that's another Ray story. So as it turns out, right here, right next door to Linda working here, is this corporate health place, and she does DUI evaluations. And not only that, we took a liking. I mean, she's 60 years old. And I'll get you a picture of Camille. Hold on. Here's her business card. I just looked this up like a year ago. And I was like, ooh. And it's like, no, she's not here. I bet people think, oh yeah, you get a little taste of the devil, and then you just, it's like, no, settle down. It's like, no. Where is she? Oh, yeah, there's Camille. No, that could have been Ray. Honestly, you just go, wow, you kidding? 40? Well, hold on. Oh, I can't believe I saw a picture of her. She was in a TV, or maybe that was on YouTube. But, so yeah, she was right down the street, and she did the DUI evaluations. I ended up volunteering here and doing her accounting work. She's this 65-year-old, and I'm saying this joyfully, that she was a plump woman, Polish, but she had this gregarious grin on her face, and she's always that, energetic, yeah. And she's just always that way. And she was crazy, she was lunatic, but I'd say that to her face, she was just that way. But, and we got along great. And she's like, yeah, I can help someone, I can help you out. And she was a crazy woman, but funny. As it turned out, that 336770. But anyway, I can't find this interview that she was on. Not that it's important, but anyway, so I did the volunteer down here. That just blows me away. Then you find out she's loaded with money. You shouldn't be saying that. But she's a tightwad. That was the thing. She was a Polish tightwad. You couldn't get anything out of her. It was a penny here, penny there. Then you find out she is... Okay, I'm doing too many. It was unreal. Oh, I can edit it up. But anyway, so yeah, that's where I was doing volunteer work. It was right down the block. $1,500 a month. So on top of what I got from the insurance, that was keeping me afloat. I broke even on that $1,500 a month. Oh, I was back in business, baby. Then I had sailing. I was hurting, but you know what? I can get over it for a couple hours and get back. But the little mental gymnastics that go on is, well, if you can race, why can't you work? Well, work wouldn't let me work. I don't want to get into that, but CTL, they come in, you can only work part-time, and you can only, and you can't stay more than 4 hours, because they knew how I got, and it just got to be easier to quit, because then I couldn't, complain about work, and complain about sailing, and complain about my back, and complain about life, just quit. Just done. So I had to self-retire because I couldn't keep up with their rules. I couldn't keep up with my rules. And it was just going to be too much. Well, couldn't find her picture, but somehow I missed this at the morning staff meeting, but I guess I'm to show this. Wasn't expecting to, but if it's put in front of me, I gotta address it. I was clicking to find photos, and this popped up in my old corporate health files, and I go, okay, let's go over it. Treatment verification. I'm just going to point out, I'm not hiding anything, it's just don't need. So I'm level 3 diagnosis of non-dependent. Because it's like, okay, this is my drinking evaluation, mind you. So it's like, let's just get it out there. So I'm level 3 high risk. I agree. Non-dependent though. Meaning I'm not alcoholic, meaning I have to drink. I don't have a physical addiction to it. Again, this is, I could have lied and everything else, but anyway. So, outpatient counseling, individual therapy, and she saw me for 75 hours. And we don't need to go through this. I just want to show that it's all here. So you've got my, DUI arrests, and then we go through that. So if people want to stop and pause, go ahead, but Oscar sliders, and I go, yeah, my knees. But I didn't blame my knees, but she said things were bonded, and it was like ACL reconstructive, and blah, 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 blah. So it's just another confirmation of just everything. Laminectomy, discectomy, blah, 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 blah. So anyone wants to dig into my life, go ahead. Just right there. Go ahead. There you go. Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So, then, so I got to talk about that. So I ended up getting a job, a real job, not this job. But I'm back on top of the world, baby, And this is after I had the little thing with my stomach. Oh, my stomach was so bad. They do. They just take all your guts to get to your spine from the front side. Oh, God, my stomach was bad. Oh, it's just like a constant stomach ache. Knowing it's not, because all your stuff has been in that position for, since the last time someone gutted you like a carp and dug around them. Anyway, so yeah, DUI arrest, blah, 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 blah. There you go, you people that need to know everything. Well, just don't show them. Anyway, so you had that. At lectures, hands up, well, sort of. She did some solids on me as far as the formalities go, but I worked every single day for forever, and then she goes, let's do something about money. So, okay. So I thought there's a thing with if he's going to be a risk. So summary, we need to look at this. During Brian's participation in the program, he was assessed as to his knowledge and understanding of the identifiable symptoms of the disease of alcoholism, along with the progressive physical, emotional, and behavioral deterioration that occurs with chronic abuse. Client's counseling focused on identifying and resolving his problems with alcohol. General observations of client. Brian was very conscientious and cooperative while participating in the program. He acknowledged his abusive usage of alcohol and appears to have learned a very therapeutic lesson. Now, the DUIs taught me a lesson, but thanks. Since he is on pain medication, he remains abstinent from all alcohol. Beverage, well, except for Wednesday night beer cans. You gotta slide a little bit. She knew. He seems to have a more positive self-image and states he is coping with life stresses without turning to alcohol as a crutch. That's half true with the reasons, but his communication skills with regard to stress have improved as he turns to other outlets and vent stress. Social and peer pressure is addressed by focusing on non-alcohol related functions and an ability to just say no. Nancy Reagan, baby! Just say no. Lord. Recommendation. No further treatment is deemed necessary at this time. That cost me $500 or... No, I'm kidding. Kidding! I didn't do no. Brian completed the required counseling for DUI conviction. He acknowledges his poor judgment. Well, kind of hard not to. It's not funny. DUI, drinking, driving, not funny. Not funny. Okay. Reason for termination. Brian was fun. He was fun when we went out for happy hour. That's why we stopped. Anyway, I'm not making fun of drinking or, stuff like that. Just levity, guys. Just relax. So that's it. not that really matters. I just found this kind of funny. That so this was my accounting. That I set up all the tables instead of using programs and stuff. I had to set up my own table. I don't know, different levels of treatment and names, and so you just find out the bureaucracy in DUIs and the drug testing that's involved. And this was my little precursor to when Mickey failed midlife crisis number 2, when she had to go through a treatment program and get drug tests and drug screening. So I had all this training, had all this in-house training when I was doing accounting work to find out how all these guys, oh, what a racket. Oh, all those sheets. But, oh, for the truck companies and the valuations that had to be done, these are all the urine tests. Oh, what a, not I don't say racket, but oh my God, don't drink and drive is just, don't drink and, if, first one, $10,000. Someone said that to me. He goes, you know, if you get caught, just kiss away 10,000. Yeah. That's exactly right. So when I started worrying about money, they had, and I'm sure that's kind of why this is coming up, that I had to back off saying, I'm worried about her shopping. Well, I should have been a little bit more worried about racking up DUIs and stuff. And I kind of forgot about that when I was kind of about her with the packages. That it wasn't just knee issues. I was, worried about. I was racking up DUI charges and stuff. So I'll get my little righteous stuff back in right order. But yeah, I do. I racked up her bills. Yeah, there's no doubt. So I don't blame Jane for what she did. I don't agree with the way she did it, but I don't blame her. I was a putz. I was a terrible husband. Oh my God, I was a terrible husband. But I don't want to beat up on me either that much. So hold on. We'll do this because it works. That we won't have to look at a blow up and then she was on the back of my mind. I have to admit, back of my mind. Where I'm going with this. When we were going out, and even when I was being a banker and we weren't dating, that I stayed with her, meaning let's get you straightened out and then we'll get back together type thing. So I didn't quit being a friend. And that worked for both of us, I guess, because it went on. She ended up getting a dog. And we drove down to Paducah. Not just any dog. It had to be a dog from Paducah. Well, actually, it had to be I actually had to Google herding dog breeds. A border collie. She had to have a border collie. And she found one, and it was in Paducah, Kentucky. So one of the times her car was working, we drove down, and probably when things were better, probably in August, sounds right, that we went down to Paducah, and it was summer, and the top was down, and she had jean shorts on, and we had fun. But she got this stupid dog that, I shouldn't say stupid dog, I love dogs. But it was a stupid dog because she bought that dog, no exaggeration, probably 50 toys. You know, the rubber ball, the squeaky ball, the little thing with the bells in it, and the little thing with peanut butter you put in, and the little thing this, and the little thing that you throw, and the little football that goes woo, and all these things, because they're such smart dogs. As Ray let me know, she is smart. She has to keep busy. That's why she has to go to band practice, because she would go crazy if she didn't keep up doing all these things, which I was paying for. If she didn't do all those, and then she had to have a dog if we were going to be apart, then she was, well, actually I just contradicted, but I don't know, whatever. But I remember when we went down, it was summer and hot, and it was great, because jean shorts, just jean shorts. So, anyway, and then this dog, I ended up taking care of the dog. Go figure. So, the dog food had to be just right. At Christmas, she needed a doormat, and I got her a doormat, and I never made the equation, but she apparently did. But I got her a new doormat. And I remember getting her doormat. Maybe I didn't know what I was doing, but I got her doormat. It's kind of the FU of relationships, I guess. Oh, well, we're going to wrap it up on that point. More race stories are going to kick in. So I just broke through the ice. And so now you know a little bit more about her. You got the little perimeter going. You don't know this yet. Anyway, I'll be back.